What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well on your side. Thank you so much for tuning into this one. We're back with a new video, and this is going to be my review on the FIFA 2026 World Cup. Now, I have a few points that I want to get to. I'm going to talk about some highlights and what I thought about the World Cup overall as well. But let me know your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section below. What was your experience like on this World Cup? Was this your first World Cup? How many World Cups have you seen in your lifetime? Let me know all those good talks and conversations in the comment section below, guys. I would love to hear from you on that. But before we get into this video, guys, I actually just want to make a quick kind of announcement just to talk about the video request / topic request videos that I do. There have been a lot that people have been sending over for me, and I do want to say thank you so much for the support on that. And I am getting around to it. I just want to say, if it feels like this video is taking forever to come out, and when is this video going to be released, is he still making it, so on and so forth, I am going to get around to everybody's. I do want to say that quickly. So if it feels like it's been taking a long time, I do have different requests coming from YouTube and from TikTok. You know, I'm on both sides on two platforms, and sometimes it just might be that someone else had a request before you, and obviously I have to record these videos, got to edit these videos, and I'm trying to get to everyone, so it's not that I'm not going to be making anything like that. If it is a situation like that, I will let you know. But so far, all the requests up to this point of the recording of the video, the date of this video, I will get to everyone's requests that has been asked for, so I will get to it, guys. I do appreciate, obviously, all the love and support on the videos. I don't want to seem like, hey, this guy's not recording, making videos anymore, I'm going to get to it. But sometimes it just depends on the schedule, depends on the availability of the car, because I'm recording, like, my studio is my car currently. So sometimes the car is out, out of commission, and then we got to get it back, and then we got to do what kind of videos we can do. But with that out the way, guys, let's get into the review. So I've got a few points today that I want to talk about, and this is kind of just my own list. You can let me know your thoughts and your opinions, obviously, in the comment section below. But we're going to start with the first one, and my first point is the vibes. Now, I will say the vibes at this World Cup, I think going into it wasn't as great. I even made a video talking about where was the hype around this World Cup. It was kind of quiet, not a lot of advertisements, but I didn't feel like there was a World Cup happening, and a lot of people shared that same sentiment with me online. But I gave the vibes for this tournament, this World Cup, this FIFA 2026 tournament, a 6 out of 10. I will say I did actually enjoy, once I started watching the World Cup, talking about the World Cup with some of my friends and other people as well, and making videos about it. Obviously, I had my whole daily video series. It was incorporated with World Cup videos. So I will say that it was nice to talk about it. It was nice to be in that vibe again. As well as the stadiums, obviously, the crowd, the fans. A big standout was Norway's fans. They had the whole Rui. That whole thing was going on. I'll throw some pictures up if you haven't seen it. That was quite cool. We haven't experienced something like that before, in my opinion, with Norway. I actually don't know if they've been in a World Cup before them, but I think they made the furthest run they have in this tournament. So those kind of milestones, was awesome to see, and those kind of fans backing them. Obviously, the fans are always a huge standout at these, at these tournaments, the international tournaments. So for me, the Norway chant, that was definitely up there in terms of vibes. But overall, I gave it a 6 out of 10. Nothing too crazy in my opinion. We're gonna go to the second point that I have, which is matches. Now, I gave matches an 8 out of 10. I will say a lot of the matches that I happened to catch, because I'm from South Africa, and the time zones between America and South Africa is horrendous. Okay, so some of the games were at like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't watch all of them. But the ones that I did watch, I will say there was a lot of good quality football, high quality football, technical football that was going on. Obviously, some teams, you could say they were playing park the bus, they were just playing defensive, but a lot of the teams were also going for it, were trying to push towards scoring, to try and get results, to try and get points. Even in the group stage, the group stage games were quite important and quite entertaining as well, as far as the country that I'm from, South Africa, that I was supporting and hoping that they made a far run. Even their group stage run got a little tricky, because they had to beat South Korea, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, in order to get out of the group stage, and that was a very important game. So knockout football, international football, there's always a lot of stakes on the line, and especially when it comes to a World Cup. This is a tournament that only comes around every 4 years. So obviously the matches and the quality is going to be crazy. Like, we have the Norway-Brazil matchup. We obviously have the Cabo Verde-Argentina game that was crazy. Even the Argentina-Egypt game. There was the Germany-Panama game, I believe, that went to penalties. There was a lot of matches, I can name a few matches like that. That was just insane, So yeah, you must let me know your favorite match in the comment section below. Which ones did you like, and what was ones that stood out to you this World Cup? But I'm going to go to the next point, guys. And this one is going to be, I guess this one is actually the lowest rated on my list. And that is the officiating or the overall refereeing standards of this tournament. And for me, 5 out of 10 from my side, guys. You might have to let me know what you thought about the overall officiating in this tournament. But man, I will say this. I think at least in the beginning of the tournament, it started out pretty well. I think there was consistency in terms of the refereeing, decisions being made, VAR being used and introduced in certain scenarios and certain matchups. Not matchups, sorry, certain calls that had to be done. I was like, okay, if they're going to have this sort of standard, if it's going to be a bit more strict, because I believe like in the first game, which was Mexico and South Africa, I think there was a red card in that game. I might be wrong or something, but I know that there was like a big decision in that game. And a lot of the things that I thought of when I saw this, I was like, okay, they're being a lot, not stricter, but they're not taking any nonsense in this World Cup, And then deep into the tournament, there were so many calls that were questionable. We obviously had the Balogun situation from the USA, where he got a red card and then it wasn't a red card anymore, and he wasn't suspended from the next game, and he played in the game against Belgium. We obviously have the Argentina situation that a lot of people are not happy about, of the decisions that they had in their games, in Egypt's game, in Switzerland's game, in I'm missing one, not Capo Verde, but it's Egypt. There was another game also, there was something big that happened. England's game, in some way, I think. Yeah. But still, I would say the officiating, all out of sorts, I'm using the ones that are top of mind, but I'm sure there's a lot of calls you can say, what on earth happened here? Why was this not a card? Why was this not a foul? Why didn't we use VAR for this, but we use it in the Argentina games? So on and so forth, guys. I'm going to give a 5 out of 10 for officiating. I think they started strong, but it kind of started going downwards towards the end of the tournament. Production is another criteria that I have on here that I think is actually underrated, because in terms of producing like a World Cup, obviously when you broadcast something, you've got to think of, okay, the fans at home are watching this. What kind of experience are they going to have? Obviously, because they're not going to the tournament. And I gave production a 7 out of 10. Okay. I think I really enjoyed a lot of the graphics, a lot of the scoreboard things, a lot of the, what do you call it? Like the informational, breakdown stuff that they give during the match, like this team had this much possession, this team has this much chances on goal. I like the graphics, the colors. It was overall quite cool, to see. And also they have like this momentum chart, which I believe was new. I haven't seen it anywhere else. The momentum chart was kind of cool as well to watch, like, from someone at home, to give that kind of graphics. I'm always a sucker for like well designed scoreboards and fonts and graphics, and the colors that they use is very, very cool, And then as well as the stadiums as well. The stadiums were such... I will say this. I think a lot of people are asking the question about how is it going to be like in the US with their stadium standard, obviously. And then obviously we have the big stadium in Mexico. I forgot the name. Like it's not Azteca something. I'm going to throw the name on the video, but I forgot about that. Apologies for that. But there's also this one standout moment that is popping up in my head right now, which is in the Spain game. I don't know who they were playing against, but there was this one Spain game that they played against Marino. I think that's his name. He scored a goal and he went to the corner flag and he kind of ran around the corner flag and he celebrated. And the whole stadium, like, there's like this huge, like, the screen set up around the stadium. It's like circular around the whole stadium. It covers the top point of the stadium. It's like a banner in a way. And it was covered in like the Spain colors when he scored. And it seemed like goal or something. And it had like the colors up there. And the camera work on that shot alone was like, wow, it was pretty insane, I think that was something out of a movie, in my opinion. It was such a cool moment to see this is kind of happening in real time, and this is like the shot and the angle that they chose, because at the end of the day, when you have these kind of tournaments, you have these moments that people put up like videos about and talking about games and covering games, and when they revisit the World Cup or they use it for like a documentary, so on and so forth, those kind of shots stand out to you. And I just think about it in that way because I'm also like someone that like takes photos and like shoots a lot of videos. Sometimes obviously I do videos like this, but even like IRL videos, like even I think about like how to shoot it and things like that. So seeing things like that, I thought about it in that way. I think it was pretty cool. You guys must let me know your opinion in the comment section below on the overall production. I gave it a 7 out of 10. And I'm moving on to the teams. Now this was actually an expansion from the original format. We now have 48 teams in this World Cup. I believe this is the first time that this has happened. And I gave the teams an overall 7 out of 10 rating. And that's because I think a lot of teams did show up for this tournament. A lot of teams had a lot to prove and had a lot to showcase in this tournament. We're obviously talking about Capo Verde, which I will get into. Sorry, am I saying that correctly? Cabo Verde or Cape Verde? I know there's two ways to say it, but I know they had a lot to say at this tournament, and they did. They drew to Spain, but I'll get into that in my honorable mention stuff. But I think their showing at the World Cup was great. There was a few newcomers as well to the World Cup. I think Bosnia, they were also a first time at the World Cup, I believe. Norway obviously making their run. I think I think Italy having their absence in the World Cup, it just kind of feels weird, because you obviously talk about juggernauts, international juggernauts on the footballing stage. You think of Spain, you think of Germany, you think of France, and not having Italy there, it felt kind of weird, in my opinion, because I would say like them not qualifying for the World Cup is kind of insane, even with the expanded format. So I don't know what's happening with the Italian national team, but I will say I did miss them in terms of seeing them in the international stage. I think they should be back in the next World Cup or even in the Euros. I believe the last time I watched like Italy was in the 2021 Euros when they won it. So that was the last time I've seen the Italian national team like actually paid attention and I was focused on them. And them not being in the World Cup was kind of, unfortunate for me because I kind of like a lot of Italian players. I like a lot of Italian, stars and their football. So just not seeing them at the tournament was kind of a, on the overall group. But I still think a lot of teams that showed up, the full list, I think we got the full package at this tournament. So we'll see what the next World Cup has for us in store. But that's my last point. But now, sorry for the interruption of the video, guys, but I just forgot to mention actually about the hydration breaks. Now, you guys must let me know your opinions on that. I didn't actually include it when I did my full video. I just thought about it now afterwards. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't mention the hydration breaks. And that's like a big part of this World Cup that a lot of people were saying, this is, it's turning into a 4-quarter game where we have like a mini break in between two halves. It was kind of weird. And for me, it was definitely a momentum shifter, watching 45 minutes and then going from that to like just like 22 minutes and then another bit and then like a longer half time and then a small piece and then a hydration break. So it was different in my opinion. I really don't know what to think about it. The first time when I was watching it, I was like, oh my word, this is so strange. But as the World Cup went on, I kind of got used to it. I don't really know my exact feelings on it, but it was definitely strange. But let me know your thoughts on the hydration break, guys. Let's get back into the video. I'm going to go over to my favorite moments / highlights of this FIFA World Cup 2026. And I'm going to start with the France international team, the French team. Man, every time I seen France play, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to watch that game. And I was not disappointed, I think they scored like 2 or 3 goals every game, besides obviously the Spain game and besides the Morocco game. But still, I overall enjoyed watching this team play. I think there is a lot of talent on display. Watching Mbappe, watching Elise, watching Dembele, watching Doué, watching, almost said Kimpembe. I can't what's the defender's name? Upamecano, watching him as well at the back line, watching the midfield, watching the attack, It's such a great way to showcase, football at its like most aggressive, I guess, because every time France seems like they get the ball, they want to go forward, they want to score goals. And I think just in the Spain game, to talk about it, I think Spain neutralized them perfectly. So it was more of a case of Spain being better, but France like kind of thinking they're just going to do what they do and then they're going to win. But nah, I think France was definitely surprised by the way Spain handled them. But I enjoyed watching the France team. The next one I would say is the last dance players, So watching Messi at this World Cup, watching Ronaldo at this World Cup, watching Modric at this World Cup, watching Neymar at this World Cup. I think that was also a standout and highlight to me because they've been a part of my footballing experience and my football lingo and terms, for so long, that watching them at this World Cup was kind of bittersweet to see them, play and also to know that this is their last time playing at this kind of international level, Just to watch them play, obviously, was awesome. To see Modric still doing the midfield for Croatia was awesome. Ronaldo, he scored 2 goals as well at this tournament, and then he had the whole, I'm back moment. So that was cool to see in the moment, I was like, wow, he's really turning up. And of course, Messi just putting on such a performance for Argentina. A lot of people say he single-handedly carried Argentina with 8 goals and 4 assists. He just went for it, he was showcasing his talent, showcasing his class, that he is timeless, it seems like, like we thought that because he went to the MLS, maybe he doesn't have it anymore. No, he's going to show up at this World Cup and almost go away with a golden boot, which is insane, you know. But yeah, those last dance plays for me, that was also a highlight of this World Cup, definitely. And then I want to talk about Capo Verde as well, or Capo Verde, their showcase and their run at this World Cup. They drew to Spain, and they took Argentina as well to extra time, you know. And their showcase, I didn't watch the Spain game, but I was busy watching the Argentina game. And when I'm telling you that this for me is also a big highlight, I'm talking about the equalizing moment. I believe it's the 2-2 equalizer. I can't remember the player's name, but I'm going to find his name and put it on the screen. He's on I think it's like almost on the outside of the box, or like near the outside, or somewhere close to the outside of the box. And he just finesses. He hits a banger past, man, what's his name? Oh my gosh, Martinez. He hits it like upper 90-ish, you know, on the right side of the goal. An absolute banger of an equalizer. That is like World Cup moment. Like, if there's any World Cup moment that you want to bring up, that is one to bring up. And if they were to win that game, it would have even been better. It would have been all the more sweeter. But he celebrates, he runs, you know, he runs all the way to the stands. And I mean, that is just like what the World Cup football is like, you know. A team like Capo Verde facing up against Argentina and giving them a run for their money, you know. So I think that was an amazing moment. And I think that was also one of the highest highlights for me, in my opinion. But let me know your highlights as well, standout things that happened while you were watching. What is your favorite moments at this World Cup? Do let me know in the comment section below. But with that out of the way, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. That's where we're going to end it today. I know I said I was going to keep it kind of short. I see the recordings are really running almost 16 minutes. But I just wanted to encapsulate, you know, all my thoughts and the whole experience over, it was like a month and a bit, or 2 months, you know. I mean, it was a lot of football and international football, you know. The moment about the World Cup it only comes around 4 years. I think there's an extra, you know, spark in the air that I think when it comes around football. It was a joy to watch this World Cup. Between this World Cup and the 2022 World Cup, I can't remember exactly how I felt around the 2022 World Cup, but I still enjoyed both, you know. I think there were different things to enjoy as well. And as the 2018 World Cup, I can't really remember the 2018 World Cup, even though I kind of like saw it here and there, but I wasn't paying attention as much as I did this time. And obviously I wasn't making videos like I am right now. But thank you so much, guys. It's been an awesome journey to talk about the World Cup. You know, it's such a nice time as a football fan, as someone who watches football, to talk about the World Cup, share my thoughts with you guys. You guys share your thoughts with me. We talk about our favorite players, our favorite teams, you know. I did mention Norway. I think I did mention Norway, their fans and everything like that showing up at this World Cup. It was such an awesome experience, guys. So do let me know your thoughts and everything like that in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. FIFA 2026 World Cup, guys. We're out of here. It was an awesome tournament, guys. Spain, obviously, were the winners of this World Cup. And, man, I mean, it's difficult to say that they did not deserve it. Especially the way they did France. I mean, yeah. Do you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I appreciate you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.